One of the most desirable and sought after spring perennial plants is the native Trillium, of which there are many kinds. And today we're here at Plant Delights with Zach Hill, who is their specialist in trilliums and their taxonomist, and we're going to talk about all things Trillium. Hi, Zach.
Hi.
And I appreciate you sharing your wisdom with us. And let's just start off with Trillium life cycle, because people see them in the woods, but I don't think they really understand what they're looking at and what it takes to get them to that beautiful plant. And I can see you've got babies.
Yeah, so the first pot, this is first year seedlings that we collected last summer in July. We collect the pods in the garden. We do a flower inventory in the spring and then go back and collect seeds on all of our plants in the garden in the summer. These germinated this spring. You can still see the seeds on the tips of their first leaves. They're cotyledons.
Yes, I can see these little brown tips are what's left of the seed.
That's what's left of the seed after they germinate. And so they need to be dark to germinate. So we just,
Okay, so they're photosensitive, and you cover them.
We
you
cover
make sure
them
they're under
lightly with the permatil.
Right, right.
We take them, we hurriedly write a tag that has a shorthand name of what the plant is.
Right, I do the same thing.
And where we collected it and the date.
Mm-hmm.
Then we take them and sit them under a bench in our greenhouse.
Which is not heated.
Heated.
Yeah, so it's cold over the winter.
Yeah, it gets a warm treatment because it's July, so it's being watered all summer, it's staying moist. Mm-hmm. They generally start to germinate in late December, early January.
Oh, okay.
We can stay at that stage for months until sometimes even July.
Well, that brings me to the observation that Trillium are slow growing.
Yes, for the most part, most Trillium species are slow growing. We found the exceptions to be the Lancifolium group, Trillium fetidissimum, and Trillium ludovisianum, which we've bloomed in as little as 4 years from seed.
But typically it can take, what, 5 to 7?
5 to 7 years at the earliest for getting material to bloom. I've seen rhizomes almost a foot long. So, I mean, that's got to be 40 to 50 years old of a single rhizome.
So they're extremely long-lived.
They're very long-lived plants.
Okay, so once you've got them unless you do something very wrong.
Unless the voles eat them or the deer browse them, they're susceptible to both of those things.
Tell me about this one you've got coming into bloom here.
So this is Trillium Lancifolium Whitfield. This is a population from southeastern Tennessee.
Aha.
These were grown from seeds collected in 2019, so we're getting...
So it's 5 years ago.
5 years ago, we've got at least 2 blooms in this seed pot.
And you said Southeast Tennessee, and we are blessed in this part of the world because this is the center of the Trillium universe, is it not?
Yes.
The southeastern United
States. The southeastern U.S. is one of the largest centers for diversity, especially in this sessile group. Mm-hmm. There are a few outliers on the West Coast, but by and large, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, the Carolinas, and northern Florida are the center of diversity for the subgenus Sessilium, which these are in.
Wow. Well, let's go out and look at some more Trillium in the garden.
Yes, let's.
Zach, Trillium can be pretty weird. And here's a great example. Yes. Tell me about this.
So this is Trillium decumbens. Mm-hmm. This is a Trillium that creeps along the ground. It has a stem, but it's actually
like under there somewhere.
Underneath there.
Oh, yeah.
And it's got a weird sort of vertically held rhizome as well. It grows on really steep slopes.
Oh, I see. So
in Alabama and Tennessee.
Okay, and it's just about flat to the ground.
Yeah, decumbens means,
Yes, flat. Yeah, exactly. And what spectacular leaves, though, these humongous wide segments with this silvery pattern on it. Really gorgeous.
It's one of my favorite Trilliums to have seen in the wild.
Yeah, that is quite the...
It's like little flames on the forest floor on these really steep slopes that are amazing. Amazing plants.
Wow.
They're sun plants that go dormant by the time
The
the
leaves.
leaves come out.
Right, it's spring ephemeral
Yeah,
behavior.
they're an ephemeral. And this one, even more so than some of the others like cuneatum, it will drop its foliage by the end of May.
It's just fascinating.
Yeah, it's a wonderful plant.
I just love the silvery foliage on this.
And these are silver selections out of the Oconee strain of Trillium cuneatum. We selected these out of other blocks for having silver foliage. And it's somewhat heritable, a trait. So, I mean, you can get silver seedlings out of silver plants, but sometimes not.
It's really a pretty spectacular plant, and it looks like it's pretty free blooming. I mean, you know, in a lot of ways.
Yeah, these will be blooming for 3 to 4 weeks, looking at peak.
That's really beautiful. So no pattern at all on these selected plants, on the leaves.
Yep.
And then there's, in contrast, this leaf.
Yes, very much patterned. This is Trillium ludovicianum Rankin. It's a seed strain out of Mississippi that we've grown here on the property for years.
It's just fabulously gorgeous. And I notice a lot of these sorts look a lot alike, and you're saying it's how the flowers are formed.
Yeah, the narrow petals, and you know, there's anther differences between like this and cuneatum.
Okay.
And some pollinator differences. These are pollinated by what are known as freeloader flies. They're these long-legged little flies that they really love, the ludovicianum group. There's one there.
Oh, little tiny guy.
Little tiny flies that
It looks
only
like a
pollinate
gnat. Yeah.
one group of plants. They don't really visit cuneatum, and they'll just visit. They're usually only like the ludovicianum group and then one from along the Savannah River.
So this tiny fly's life is built around
That's one of
working with the pollen of this particular species.
Yeah, it seems to be attracted to this one. They're sort of a yeasty smell that they're absolutely in love with.
Nature is amazing.
Nature is very amazing.
And like I was saying, this is one that I've grown extremely successfully. It's a very vigorous plant.
It's a very vigorous plant from seed. I mean, we can bloom it in up to 4 years from seed.
Yeah, good one to go after, guys. Just to show people that there are things besides white, pink, and burgundy trillium, there are yellows.
There are yellows and greenish yellows. Like this is a form of Trillium cuneatum from Oconee Station area in South Carolina, where yellows are pretty common. It's lacking all red pigments.
Right. So this is what else is in the flower besides when the red pigments are gone.
And so you can see that the anthers are all yellow and green.
Inside.
And the ovary is green as well. It's just missing that red pigment, the anthocyanins that make the other trilliums burgundy.
Right. It's a really beautiful, subtle, lovely little plant.
Yes.
And once again, the beautiful patterning on the leaves. Here's another lovely group. My goodness.
Yeah, this is a Trillium recurvatum. This is native to central Tennessee as well.
Yep, it's beautiful.
It's Bloody Butcher is one of the common names.
Isn't that a weird thing to name something that looks like this?
Decided to name it that, but this is a really good, it's related to lancifolium. It has a nice little petiolate stem on the leaves.
And I love the burgundy kind of stem that elevates it. It's really lovely.
And it's super easy to grow and offsets really well.
Yes, so this is another one that's really nice and vigorous.
Yes, it's a very vigorous plant. So,
Zach, I just want to thank you so much for sharing your vast knowledge about trilliums. Tell me, Plant Delights has how many?
We have over 1,800 clones. It's about 40 species. Not all of them are identified or have been described as a good species yet, but we're still working with them.
And I love the fact that you propagate and grow them, and no wild collection, obviously.
No wild collection at all. We grow all these from seed here for sales. So
that's wonderful. Well, thank you so much. It's just
welcome.
been a super pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
If you like gardening, you'll want to subscribe to this channel. We showcase gardeners, plants, and the sheer joy that growing can bring.